What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is the review for Australia versus Argentina. Another thriller, another upset that was truly epic. I mean, honestly, this past weekend was unbelievable, the rugby we saw. I mean, South Africa and New Zealand, in Wellington, that was an epic match. Then we got these two fantastic teams, Australia and Argentina, giving it horns and trying to be the victor for the day. And Argentina pulled through, held on tight in what I'd say was a bit of a messy game. Not the neatest of rugby, a lot of basic errors in the game, but definitely an interesting one, Avid. And credit to Argentina for pulling through, making history once again, just showing where they are and how they are improving in world rugby. I said at the start of this tournament that I wanted to see Argentina improve, show some passion, show some determination to win, because they've got a great team. They really have got a great team, and they just haven't been in the right place. And they've started off the junior internationals on a very poor note, losing to Wales, then to Scotland. It just wasn't good. But then a new coach came in who just coached the Jaguars. He totally transformed the Jaguars and seems to be doing the exact same thing for Argentina. Argentina beating South Africa, which was unbelievable in Mendoza. Then they go on and beat Australia in Australia, which was truly special. And also giving the All Blacks a good fight when they played them in New Zealand the other day. They truly fought, showed strength, showed heart, and just had a very good performance. And credit where credit is due, Argentina really did well. But Australian fans, I'm sure, will be very disappointed after that match, because there were instances where Australia could have won the game. They definitely lost the game on their own accord. And I've got 4 notes that I've jotted down from this past weekend's game that I want to share and see if you guys agree with me. But Australia really do have a fantastic team on paper, and against South Africa they seem to gel. The experience of Kurtley Beale was shown, whereas he wasn't as effective in this past game. Will Genia obviously is a star all out and shows his strength and everything, but Australia just didn't seem there. And again, I question, is it Michael Cheika? Is it the systems in place with Australian rugby? What needs to be done in order to progress and get better? Because there are improvements, we've seen it, but their fitness levels aren't up to standards. As I said, basic error movements where they just seem to lose it a bit, which was disappointing, because they've got gas at the start and they start strong, but they just seem to fade away. And fitness is so important in world rugby. I think if they lose to South Africa in Port Elizabeth, I think they're going to, I don't know if they actually have dropped to 7th, which is an all-time low for Australian rugby. Now that's not good when we're building for a World Cup. I know, probably easy for me to say as a South African fan, but we're not perfect either. Yes, we just beat the All Blacks, but there's still so much to improve. And the World Cup's coming, guys. It's right around the corner. I mean, it might be just over a year away, but so much needs to happen in order for these countries to settle in. New Zealand, we know, are on the right path. Again, fine, they lost a couple of days ago, but they're still that damn good, and they will regroup and recover from it. Australia and South Africa and England really need to get things in order, because Ireland are looking good, Wales are looking good, Argentina are improving, Scotland are always there and thereabouts. So these two teams need to really pick up their game a bit, so that when World Cup happens, they don't get a surprise knockout, because that is definitely possible. And we've seen it in the World Cup. We've seen it so many times. But let's get to the 4 points that I want to go on with this past game. I said pressure turns... the pressure got to Australia. It wasn't just the weather. They seemed to be under pressure. And it is their first loss to Argentina in Australia since 1983. Which is shocking. It's not good. And questions need to be answered from Michael Cheika. What are they going to do? Because it's not going to get easier. And because South Africa, you're coming to South Africa, yes, they drew last year and they're going to be on a high from beating South Africa, but South Africa are going to also be on a high after beating the All Blacks. And now we're in our own home territory, don't have a bad record at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, so we need to, well, Australia need to pull up their socks and get with the picture and work on new procedures, because they're going to have to come out firing in all cylinders if they don't want to be bottom of the log, because at this stage they are. So a lot of work needs to be done for them. As I said earlier, basics go missing. They couldn't make things stick on Saturday. It just, the lineouts were shocking, misjudging of late passes or non-passes. For example, Israel Folau. Oh, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but that was a selfish move from the man. He should have passed the ball. If he had passed the ball, we would have seen a try. Australia could have won. Missed opportunity, and that was a big loss. Playmaker questions still linger. Kirkley Beale, Matt Tuma, sorry if I say his name wrong, they were promising against the Springboks, but they weren't effective against Argentina, and playmakers like that need to be effective. Beale had it was a game you'd rather forget, and Matt's touches were few and far from. So a lot of improvement needs to be made there. Playmakers need to improve. And then one thing that I did see, the switching of Israel Folau and Dane was a clever one. He seemed comfortable in the fullback, which was good to see. And Folau, we all know how strong and quick and powerful that man is. So maybe it's a good move to put him where he was, keep him there, but he needs to be focused and not make a silly error. Now, I know all players make errors, and it's cost games. For example, when Lowe knocked the ball on, I thought we had lost the game. Barrett, with his kicking, lost the game for New Zealand. And now Folau, selfishly not passing the ball, lost the game for Australia. And that ticks me off, because it's all about teamwork. And I know if you want to try, or if you think you're strong enough to score a try, fine, go for it, but you've got to be teamwork. If you just see an opportunity, especially when your team is on the fence and not looking strong against a team like Argentina, you've got to pass the ball. Otherwise, missed opportunities, and unfortunately that costs them the game. And then obviously the fifth point, and this is for Argentina, the coach. He really was outstanding. As I said just now, he's taken Argentina to another level. He's showing so much improvement, so much strength. He's just taking that team. The team looks like in such a good place. You could see how much they wanted to win, and obviously they got to do work. There were quite a few errors against them on the day. A little bit of aggression here and there. They need to work on that in order to progress, because Argentina, for me, are the dark horse in all World Cups. They've knocked out Ireland. I must be honest, in 2007, when South Africa played Argentina, I thought we could have got knocked out, because, I mean, the scrum off at the time, I always forget his name, but he's probably one of the greatest Argentinian captains and scrum offs of all time. I mean, that guy was pure genius, and I was petrified of him. And Candapomi was still in those days, and it was just immense from them, and I'm always nervous of them. So the rate they're going, they're definitely going to get to the level that we know and respect of the Argentine. In fact, they're probably there already, but work needs to be done on their errors as well, not just Australia, because they could have lost the game. They could have lost the game, especially if that try was scored, but they won, and well deserved, because they held it on. They wanted it more. At the end of the day, it came down to who wanted that victory more, and it was clearly Argentina on the day, which was really special for them. First time in a good number of years, and it really was amazing. I mean, final score 19-23. It was close, it was intense, but it wasn't Australia's day. Now 3 tries to 2, which is always interesting. So one conversion wouldn't have won the game, but it would have brought it closer. So 3 tries to 2, very interesting stuff. I mean, the penalty in the first 5 minutes, hectic stuff. It was kicked over. Kenya scored a brilliant try, which was outstanding. Then Nicolas Sanchez scored a try, converted it, which was awesome. Israel Folau got the try. So it's almost like he wanted another one. But yeah, so it was an interesting game, up and down, bit of, as I said earlier, a bit messy, but things need to happen. But there are positives. Obviously, Australia with the test of Dane and Folau, that definitely worked, and positive for Argentina, really doing well. I mean, we know how far down they are in the rankings, and for them to come up and show it's awesome. It makes this competition competitive and exciting, because in the past, when Argentina started, no one really thought, why are they here? They're not winning, they're not competitive. Now they're starting to grow and develop, which is awesome for rugby. It's awesome for the championship, and I'm stoked for them, I really am. So, also, epic weekend of rugby. Now we're going on a break, so I'll try and figure out a few video ideas for this week, but epic weekend of rugby. Congratulations to Argentina, and obviously South Africa. I'm still buzzing from that victory. Australia, we meet you in my hometown of Port Elizabeth. I can't wait to watch these two teams live. Got so much respect for both sporting nations, and I'm looking forward to watching them in my hometown, in the stadium, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. It's going to be epic. Argentina, you guys were awesome. Best of luck against New Zealand. But we're not done. We're going to chat in the predictions coming up later next week. But there are a few videos coming out this week, so make sure you're subscribed. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. So much more content to come, and very welcome to all the new subscribers who have joined over the weekend. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.